Hi, friend. I'm so excited you're here with me. Today is a really special interview for me. So, I have with me the amazing Dava Nichol. She is a physical therapist and a yoga teacher, super fab woman. And she combines these two skills. She combines these two skills and helps people heal and get past an injury. And so I just love this so much. And we actually met a year ago over the Self-Love Sunday Challenge that she started a year ago, which was so incredible. And this woman stayed with it for a full year. She emailed me every Sunday for a full year, and it was just so wonderful to get to know her over the email, and now we're here in person, and I love it. So, Dava, tell us about you and how you are a physical therapist and a yoga teacher. Like, what came first, and how does it all intertwine together?
Yeah, great question. So, I actually was brought on to yoga through an injury. I played sports in college. I was playing basketball, and I injured myself on the court. And I went through a ton of different rehab methods. I went to a chiropractor, I went to a physician, and I also went to a physical therapist. But it wasn't until I incorporated yoga into it that I started healing. So that's what brought me to yoga. That's what kind of drove me to become a physical therapist and also start to integrate the two together. So that was about 10 years ago.
Wow.
And I've just been with it ever since.
That's an amazing story.
Yeah.
And you hear that a lot, that yoga, people become part of the yoga world because of an injury. And I love that doctors are now saying that and kind of prescribing yoga a little bit. And so that's really cool. I'm sorry that you had an injury, but how cool that it brought you to yoga.
Yeah, definitely.
That's neat. So talk to me. So this is one thing that I always talk to my students about, is really niching down and getting clear on who you want to serve. So tell me all about who you serve and how you kind of got to that point of knowing who your audience is.
Yeah. I still think that I'm working on niching down, to be honest. There's so much I want to do. I would say after that injury, I used to teach all sorts of classes for the last 8 years. And it wasn't until probably about 3 years ago, I realized that I specifically wanted to do yoga. I dropped all other classes, and I specifically focused on that. And you know what? I don't even know how I decided that. I think it was just I had so much personal transformation when it became more of a life-transforming practice for me and not just a, workout. It was no longer just to go sweat and, work all the muscles and get stronger. It actually became a mental practice for me, and I started incorporating more mindfulness, and that's when I decided, because it was so transformative to me, I wanted to then go teach other people how to use it to, just feel better about themselves. I think I just came from a place of so much stress and insecurity and drama, and just life was hard. Life was really hard for me. And once I began to practice more of the mental aspect of yoga and truly bring it into my entire life, that's when I knew I wanted to teach others to do it. And, when you say niching down, I still feel like yoga is for everybody. I feel like it could impact every single person in some way. But the way that I teach it best is incorporating science into it, incorporating research. A lot of people have trouble getting motivated to do yoga if they don't understand how it's going to help them. And so a lot of it is being like finding research studies and educating people on the benefits of mindfulness, of going through vinyasa sun salutations, how it can improve all aspects of your physical fitness, how it helps with aging. So I think incorporating a lot of education, and then if people decide they want to take the journey a little bit farther, that's when I started offering the retreats and online courses. So,
awesome, and I can't wait to talk about those. That is really exciting. But I love that you brought up the science part and how you incorporate that. So if you don't follow her on Instagram, you really need to, because that was one thing that through the last year that I have followed you, it's been really interesting because I followed you before I started yoga teacher training. And now that I'm in it, I have such a better idea of what you're talking about. But even before, I was able to watch your videos, and you use tennis balls a lot, or like what,
Foam
all
rollers.
different times of things. And just showing, like, you'll have a muscle picture and then yourself, and it's wonderful. And even me, who's not the science guru of anything, it really was helpful. You're totally right in that, especially with an injury. And I think if there's anything, like, one of your niches is working with people that have injuries,
absolutely.
which I totally need to, off of this interview, talk to you about my knee injury and everything that's happened. But I think you're doing a great job focusing on that scientific realm of bringing people in that might not be open to yoga because it's a little too woo-woo for them, or they're not sure what it's all about. So that's a great idea.
Yeah,
wonderful.
Absolutely.
So branching over into retreats.
Yes.
So many yoga teachers think they want to run a retreat, and it's a great idea, and I love them, but I am fascinated with the idea that you have actually done it.
Yes.
And have done it successfully and are still working through it, and I want to hear all about it. So how did you start that journey?
That journey started about a year ago. I hosted my first yoga teacher training in Arizona, and with being a travel physical therapist, I was never in one place too long. So, for that assignment, I was there for about a year. So I was able to work through the studio, train the students over the course of 3 months. But once I left and I did my next assignment, I was like I was starting from scratch all over again.
Right.
And I decided, since I'm going to be traveling, that I need to start having a place where I can meet, take time off, and still host the trainings and retreats. So really it was like not really an option. It was the only way I could still pursue my passion and still be able to reach an audience not just in one city. So that's kind of my traveling
awesome.
physical therapy is what forced me into it, because I knew that I wanted to still host and teach, and I couldn't let that go.
That
So
is
I
such
just
a
made it
cool
happen.
way. So unique. That is so
Yeah.
unique. I've never heard that story and probably never will
Yeah.
again. That's so neat that because of your other job, it drove you to something to make that decision probably earlier in your yoga teacher journey than you would have otherwise, which is great.
Definitely.
So tell us a little bit about your retreat, and of course my favorite question is how you market your retreats, because I am
How much time
fascinated
do we
with
have?
that. Right.
But yeah, so the retreat is going to be, the best way to describe it is I've broken it up into modules. So I don't know if you visited the website.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so MedFlow Yoga, that has all the information for my trainings. I started out with an online course. So I don't know if the people watching, but whenever you get certified as a yoga teacher, you need 200 hours to train you, certify you, so you can then register through Yoga Alliance. 20 of those hours can be non-contact.
Oh, I did not know that. That's
So,
cool.
yeah, that's the general rule. And in the trainings I had been to in the past, I had been to a destination training. There was no online portion, so you would do the training. It would be super intense. And then those nights you had to do extra homework. And so when you're in like a beautiful space, you don't really get to enjoy it. You're just always yoga. And I feel like you don't have a lot of time to absorb.
I can't even imagine sitting in yoga teacher training right now that's 7 months long. I can't imagine doing that and not sleeping.
Yeah, and having to do it just all day without a chance to relax. So I knew I wanted to offer baby steps for people that wanted to learn how to do yoga, but they didn't want to dive into teacher training. So step one is an online course. Anybody can do that.
Very
Like I was
cool.
saying, anybody that's just interested in learning more. So that's like baby step number one.
Yeah.
And then the next step is going to a level 1 retreat, which is my Yoga Foundations retreat. And that is an 8-day training. And it takes everything that we learn in the online course and we apply it. We apply it together. We talk about it, discuss it. And I get to explain a lot more about the anatomy of the muscles. And one side note about that, bringing in the research, what I learned as a physical therapist if we understand where the muscle is located in the body, we will be able to activate it better. So that means if you are doing a pose and you know every muscle that is supposed to be working, you're automatically going to be able to recruit those muscles easier. And that's just research based by showing anatomy to half a group, not showing to the other half, measuring the muscle activity, and then being able to see that. So
that is so cool.
A lot of people don't think about anatomy being important, but just that little aspect already will improve your practice.
Amazing.
So level 1, we focus on that. Sorry. Side note, sidetrack.
That was great.
I'm an anatomy nerd. So then if they want to teach, they can attend a 2-week, 15-day level 2 training. And that takes everything we learned before. The 120 hours there are specifically focused on like teaching methods.
Okay.
Every day they come, they're going to be prepared to walk to the top of the classroom, and they're going to be practicing and teaching. And so it just kind of takes it full circle, and you have the option to build based upon what your goal is. So
that's incredible.
Yeah.
That is so cool. I love that. And again, I'm sitting in yoga teacher training as we speak, going through all of this, and how I love the way you've brought it together, where it's kind of different chunks, like you said, baby steps going through it, and how wonderful that is. And your students are lucky. That is a wonderful idea.
Yeah, and a lot of students want to do yoga teacher training just for the experience, and they have no desire to teach.
Right.
So it's a way to give a lot of people that opportunity, because I think it's so powerful and transforming.
Absolutely.
And anyone can experience that, and they don't have to, step in front and teach and learn all that stuff if they're not interested.
That is a great option.
So, yeah.
That is a wonderful option. I love that. So I will include all links to everything in this as well. So let's dive into that marketing, girl.
The marketing.
I want to hear all about it.
So
I want to hear it all.
Okay. This was new for me. Diving into the marketing, I just started reading every single thing I could online. I started listening to podcasts.
Yes.
I'm a huge fan of, it's called Smart Passive Income by Pat Flynn.
He is great.
And so he was the one that gave me the idea for the online course. And then I was like, and I can integrate it into my training. So it was really just over the years, I've just been listening to all this stuff, and I've been manifesting it. I've been envisioning, manifesting, and then just a little bit at a time challenging myself to bring more and more into that. So for marketing for this training, I've went everywhere from Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. I use Twitter, but I'm not sure I get a lot of stuff off that. YouTube, and then Google. So trying to rank SEO in Google, and then also through some Google ads as well. So I feel like I've hit every aspect of marketing. So I've dove into all those avenues and then tried to bring it together. I also taught myself how to build a website.
You did a lot, girl. You did a lot.
Yeah, and so by building the website myself, I can always update things easy. It saved me a lot of money. For people that don't have a lot of money up front to do this. I highly suggest just learning it yourself, diving into it, and then once you make enough profit from that, starting to hire out. But
you're speaking my language. You are speaking my language. That is what I teach all the time, is just do what you can. It doesn't have to be perfect, because there isn't ever going to be anything perfect. And then once you make some money, you can invest and have someone else help come along and do that. And so you're totally speaking my language for sure.
Yeah.
So the question that I love the most about marketing is when I ask, what have you seen be the best use of your marketing time? Maybe it's not all money, like we're not talking ads or anything like that, unless it is, but what is the best way that you have had the most signups for your retreats? Have you had one avenue become the biggest?
Instagram.
There you
Instagram,
go.
because it gives you a chance to tell your story and connect with people. For the last year, I've been doing the self-love challenge.
Yes, it's so good.
But I've also, so that was a big one. That I started building my email list that way.
Good job.
So
great.
through Instagram challenges, I also did the PT meets yoga. I was doing that monthly. I haven't done one for this month. Things have gotten so unbelievably crazy.
Hey,
but
it's
I have
okay.
I have
Life
one coming.
happens.
So those challenges were huge. After I hosted those challenges for about a year, I launched the online course. And then when I got the signups for the online course, those people then have looked into doing the training. So it was like literally just baby step at a time, just slowly getting people interested, educating, letting them know what I have to offer, showing them through a course what I can teach them. And then that's really drawn them into the bigger picture, and then offering this amazing experience where they can come and meet me outside the social media world.
It's so great.
So, yeah.
I wish, like, my marketing brain is, like, so excited right now.
Yeah.
Like, I wish you could know how wonderful that you just did with all of that. Like, I hope I can express that in a way, because you did it right. Those baby steps, so many of us, like myself included, we want to be here so fast, and so we rush to get something. We try and launch something really quickly or whatever it is. But you took those steps. You grew your email list that had some free stuff to show your value. Then you launched something that was a smaller chunk of money, and then the bigger chunk of money. And that is the perfect timeline. And so you did wonderful.
Oh,
I
thank
love
you.
it so much.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
That is just wonderful. So tell us and everyone watching where they can find you, and you can put some dates to it. So you've got a few trainings coming up, so list some dates. I'll also put it in the notes as well and put links to everything. And so tell us where we can find you.
Okay, so I have two websites actually. The Balanced PT is the easiest one to find me. It has a link to my training page, which is MedFlow Yoga.
Okay.
So my first retreat is going to be March 23rd through the 30th. I have a few spots left in that. So whenever you're watching this, it may sell out, but
Waiting
just
list.
contact
There's
me.
always a waiting
There
list.
is a waiting list. Yeah, we talked about that. I might be able to squeeze an extra. And then the next level one is going to be May 11th through the 18th. And then the level 2 is directly after that.
Oh,
so you
awesome.
have the option, if
To
you
just
want,
go all the
you can
way.
go all 3 weeks. Or you can just do the level 1, and I have like another level 2 in August.
That is amazing.
So yeah, so those are the most prominent ones, or the ones coming up. So
that's
one in
great.
March, one in May.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like I need to join.
Yes.
Obviously. I want to come on this trip. That would be
Yeah.
amazing.
That's another thing I wanted to talk about too. So yoga teachers who are already certified, they can actually still get continuing education hours.
Oh, that's great.
By going to that. So say if your training wasn't very anatomy focused, my level 1, we're diving into that specifically,
That
all
is
the
great.
anatomy and alignment. So I always say, if you're a yoga teacher, you already have your certification,
Right.
but the anatomy is like a little fuzzy to you. You can earn 60 hours of continuing
wow.
education through that. So
That's great.
So yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So good to know. That is awesome. Well, I will include all of that, all the links in the video blog and in the text. So thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you.
Oh, it was so fun. So fun. So go check her out and go to her retreat. It's going to be amazing. Hopefully you'll see me there too. And until next time, see you later.